Hey, what's going on, everyone? From Balance Capital. I'm Wolf, and you're watching episode 9 of the Balance Spotlight series. And today we're joined by Moxxy, the founder of Nyolings. Nyolings is a collection of cute and lovable characters exploring the world on the Ethereum blockchain. Their vision is to establish a brand that connects real life aspects with digital ones and combining them together as one. Moxxy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Love that you were willing to take the time to do an interview with us. I'm a huge fan of the project. I remember our chat from pre-mint when it was just like 5 or 6 of us in the VC, just talking about like what was coming up. And I don't know. Did you expect the success that you guys have gotten so far at that point?
Uh, I can't really say I expected any of this success. I mean, it's been pretty overwhelming for me and the team. Um, Positive, of course. I mean, we set a very realistic mint price, and usually projects they hover around that mint price, especially when it's low. So going into the mint, we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know if we were gonna be able to sell out at any of the price points we had. Um, we were just unsure about everything. So with the amount of appreciation and the support that we've gotten, it's just amazing.
That's great. So how about we move into you just give us a rundown of what Nihilings is and what you guys are building.
Well, Nyolings right now is really focused on two core aspects. It's the artwork aspect and the community aspect, and that has been the ongoing theme ever since we started the project 6 months ago or even 8 months ago. Um, we wanted to, combine these aspects together so one unlocks the other and brings the full potential of a project. So, for example, um, with good artwork, it's the easiest way to market ourselves. It brings the attention of people. People look at the artwork, they say, "Okay, this looks kind of cool." And our hope is that they then join the community and see that this is a really cool community. This is a community that I can really vibe with, that I can have fun with. The team seems very active, and they seem professional and everything. So I'll decide to stay and maybe refer it to a friend. And I think that really has happened. It has become a reality. I see a lot of people. They say they're buying in for the artwork, which was our plan. They're staying for the community and the team communication. So really, it's come to fruition, like the plan we had in mind ever since the beginning.
Yeah, it's really encouraging to see you in the chat as much as you are. Like prior to this interview, I'm just, I searched your name up just to see like what the recent conversation was about. And you're all over the place. You're posting
Right.
in there more than I've seen any founder post. It's really exciting to see.
Yeah. I mean, it's been like that since everywhere. I mean, I'm a part of the community just like anyone else. The only difference is that I can pretty much bring out the banhammer at times. No, but I mean, it's no different. I feel like it's very important for a founder to understand the community, and you can only understand the community truly if you're a part of it.
Absolutely. Can you tell us more about the team behind Nyolinks and their backgrounds?
Well, the team was mostly they were mostly my friends or people I kind of knew about when the project started, and this was in January of this year. So this is 10 months ago that we first started to assemble a team. Um, I don't really look at experience and qualities that much, to be honest, and that's might be a little bit of a different take. I feel like to create a successful project, at least up to a certain extent, you mostly need moderators and a team that understands the vision and is ready to put the work in. Then it doesn't really matter if they come from a business background or if they don't have a background at all and they're just graduated. I feel like the vibes that they bring and what kind of attitude they have towards the community, towards the vision, towards the team. whatever they're willing to put in, that's the best qualities that I look for. So with these 10 moderators, obviously people have come and go. But yeah, some have stayed ever since the beginning. A few are recent additions. Everyone shares one thing, and that is that they see the vision, they're willing to work hard for Nyolings, and they come with a positive attitude in chat. And that has always been the main point. Then, of course, we come from different backgrounds. Some work full time on the side, or not the side, but work full time and have Nyolings for the side. Um, and I mean, a lot of people come with expertise in NFTs, NFT analysts, experts, you could call them, people that really know. I myself included, people that hopefully knows what the market wants, or how the market operates, so we can adjust and know who to target and what people want. So we're consumers of our own project, really. I mean, we wouldn't launch a project that we wouldn't have minted ourselves. So that's something that I think has brought a lot of success. And then in general, I mean, it's now it's at the point where we might have to look at qualities instead of just activity and vibe. We have to look at what people we have to bring in to bring Nyolings to the next level, and where we want to take Nyolings as a brand. But I feel like any project that is starting up and looking to mint, and more in the short term, then building a team of people you trust and can have fun with is the most important qualities.
Absolutely, it's the most organic way, and it sounds like you guys have an incredibly diverse teams. It's really exciting to hear. And so with Nyolings obviously exceeding your expectations, do you have a particular marketing approach to bringing this success so far?
Yes, pretty much everything that we've done so far is very calculated. We're not taking chances or just testing things. Most of the things are things that have worked in the past with other projects, other successful projects, and that dates back ever since we started. I mean, literally how we built the Discord, what kind of approach we had to the Discord, how we built the Discord within like the layout of the Discord, how we did with the layout of the marketing, what kind of posts we did, how often we posted, what time we posted. It's also a lot of different things and a lot of different aspects. So we had a pretty, I wouldn't say a future, like a well timed in the future type of plan where we planned posts for months in advance, but we had a clear idea in mind of what type uh, of feeling people should get of Nyolings when they look at the Twitter, when they join the Discord. So we had a pretty well calculated plan ever since the beginning.
I love it. So I was talking to some community members today, and they mentioned that you might be dropping some sneak peeks of Nyo Adventures. Can you tell us anything about it?
Yeah, I mean, the first sneak peek is done. It's we're working on the exact timeline to make sure everything matches and aligns. This is something that obviously is a team effort with our designer and also our dev team. Yeah, feels like everything is in place right now. We're just need a little bit of time to start everything. But the main idea and everything is done. Now we're working on it in the background. And the first sneak peek should follow soon. It should be dropped shortly. But also it will be dropped at at a time where, once it's dropped, obviously there will be a lot of eyes on what it is and a lot of theories. So we'd like to follow with the plan and start with the plan shortly after the first sneak peek. So yeah, the sneak peek, I said it was going to be dropped within a week, a couple of days ago. So I guess I'll hold myself to that and drop it sometime in the near future.
That's amazing.
Nice. That's awesome.
How long was this? How long was this project in the works for? Like, how long have you been developing this?
So it started as an idea maybe exactly 1 year ago ish. And then we started with the first sketches and everything in December of last year. And then the Discord opened internally for friends and opinions and people that I could ask for opinions. Maybe in January, and then we opened the Discord publicly for the first time in April, in middle of April.
Right.
That's awesome. Yeah, so if Wolf will let me speak a little bit, I'm excited to ask some questions as well. I'm just kidding. What was your inspiration? I have to ask because I'm just looking through, the more into the collection and OpenSea, and it's just, I love it. It just like has its own like vibe to it.
Right. Well, I've gotten this question a couple of times before, and usually there's two different types of answer I can give, and one of them is more like this was our vision and everything, and the other one is a little bit more calculated. As I said before, a lot of the things we do are very calculated, and what type of artwork we were gonna do is no different. So our thought process behind it was that for a profile picture based project, you need something that is desired and looks good as a profile picture. And we felt like creating a project that is the characters are humans. That's most likely the easiest way for people to feel a personal connection to the characters themselves. So and then there were a lot of products at the time that were these ultra realistic 3D characters, and they were high quality, but they didn't really look appealing. They didn't really look that good as profile pictures. So we thought, how do we make this look good as a profile picture? Well, we make it more of, a non-human feature. Invisible friends is a good example. You remove well, they're invisible. You only show the clothes, but they still have a lot of personality. But you kind of you dehumanize them because they're not real. They're not humans. They're they're not really humans, but they are humans at the same time. So people can recognize and see themselves in the characters, but it's not a selfie of the person that is gonna put it as their profile picture. So yeah, we looked at different projects, and then we felt like, yeah, maybe the easiest way to make it look non-human is to remove mouth and nose, and it looked very good. We tried with, we tried without, and it looked just better and cleaner and cuter without these aesthetics. So and as for the style, the clay style, that is pretty much trademark our designer's style. He had done this style before, so when I asked, when I gave him the idea, human, no mouth, no nose, these types of clothes, that was just the result. So for the art style, the clay style, that was just a byproduct of working with our designer Albert.
Nice. Okay, cool. And that's exactly what I was hoping to hear as well. Like how you chose to take those traits out. And that's just incredible. My other question. So I was in your Discord. I saw you were posting an updates, and I was just curious. Do you guys have plans for your Nyobank funds?
Well, the Nyobank is a community-driven funding, so people can write proposals, discuss proposals, and then we it's a voting system, so it's like a DAO. People can write proposals. We write them cleanly and write a full professional proposal, and then we have an initial voting to see if it's gonna interest people enough, and then we have a final voting. And so we're not the ones that come up with the ideas, or we're just the middle part, the ones that send the money to wherever it's needed, and the ones that write the proposals. We're trying to now remove us from the write the proposal part, because that can be very selective, since we are the one essentially selecting which ones go up for proposal unless they're heavily discussed. So we want someone else that is like a third party to do that, from the community, and we would essentially just act as the bank, sending out the money where it's requested or voted for. So
Gotcha.
the Nyobank is not for ideas that we do. So if someone says, "Can we do merch?" Yes, but that's not going to be from the community funds. That's going to be from the project funds. When we release official merch. But for example, if someone said, "I want to do Nyolings merch. I want to open my own clothing brand, Nyolings inspired. Um, I want to get, I want to get the $2,000 for this to start, and whatever sales I get, 10% goes back into the Nyobank." That would be a proposal that could be voted for, entertained. We send the money, and the Nyobank would grow in return.
Gotcha. All right, that's so awesome. I love that. Let's see. What else was I had another. I got so sidetracked. What was it? Yes, that's a big question I had. So I know you guys have picked up a lot. Of course, I've been hearing about you guys a lot on Twitter personally and stuff, and even some pretty big influencers that I personally follow were tweeting about you guys. I was just curious, how do you guys plan on like continuing the expansion of your brand? Like, do you guys have any like marketing strategies or anything of the sort to kind of keep the momentum pushing?
Well, we have Nyolings Adventure as a small step one, to take Nyolings where we want to. But after that, step 2, 3, 4, obviously from step 1 to step 2, it will be a pretty big step will be needed. So yeah, I mean, we're looking at possibilities, potential collaborations that could help us grow and establish ourselves as a brand. Nyolings are very brandable, so we want to explore this Web2 opportunities pretty much as soon as possible. We have no reason to wait around, but we want to finalize Nyolings Adventure and push out Nyolings Adventure and have that be completed, and then we will look to we'll look for potential step 2, step 3. So to answer the question, I mean, it's about everything. I think personally, I think the most important thing is keeping up the community and keep spreading Nyolings on Twitter. Keep getting people to see the product, because as I mentioned earlier, the main reason people even buy into the product is because of the artwork. So if more people see the artwork, more people will want to buy in, and hopefully they'll stay with the community, and that's going to be a positive cycle. And then to take the next big step, that would be referencing Doodles, for example. They pretty much survived on their community and artwork alone for months, and then they took this big VC path and could really establish themselves as a brand. I mean, I guess we will do something similar, or try to do something similar, but instead of just trusting the artwork and community for months without actually providing something, that's not really possible in this type of market anymore. So instead, we will do a lot of community initiatives to keep the community active and to keep the artwork and community aspect really going. Nyolings Adventure is one of them, to keep the community and project relevant. We have a position of boards which will onboard a lot of community members on sub-important positions. And then we obviously have the Nyobank. We have now Nyo Coin is going to be introduced after this, which is basically a community in-house reward system for participating in events, participating in games. So we're doing everything we can and everything we learned from the past 6 months to really just invest people within the Nyolings community. Keep spreading on Twitter, keep engaging in the events, keep active in chats, and if we can keep that going until we find this next big step, the step 2, the step 3, then I don't think we're gonna lose that much traction.
Awesome. Now you
Oh, yeah,
mentioned
very
with
well
the you mentioned with Doodles going with the VC route. Is that something you guys would be open to, or are you guys trying to focus more on keeping things in house?
Um, I mean, the first step would probably be some sort of collaboration. But in the future, I mean, the reality of NFTs is that if you really want to treat the NFT product as a business, you need a lot of funding. So our goal is obviously to establish ourselves as a well-known brand worldwide. And I personally, I've always had this thought of the NFT product or the NFT sale being like a Kickstarter, a startup. The
Mhm.
NFT collection is not just an NFT collection. It's just the start, the ones that have supported the product early, and then we build something, a sustainable business model that we can, we can provide um, an organic reward system for holders. And I feel like that is only possible with creating a Web2 brand. That's probably the easiest way, at least now, and I think the only way from what I see. So that was always the plan, to treat Nyolings, the NFT, as some sort of a Kickstarter in a way, a startup, and then expand. And really, what this massive traction that we have right now has changed is the time and the way we can scale this at a faster pace with a bit more market volume, with more eyes on the project. We can really scale and take this next step faster than we could have otherwise.
Yeah, it seems like everything is so much more expedited than anticipated. I love to see it. I love to see how forward thinking that you guys are. So let's go back to the art too here. So you mentioned everything that you do is very calculated, right? And as someone who's stuck wearing glasses like myself, and I refuse to wear contacts, so I was really excited to see the entire collection was rocking glasses themselves. Was this done for a specific reason?
Yeah, it's because the Nyolings don't really work without glasses. They look very weird, so it was not really an option to have them without glasses, unfortunately.
Got you. Okay. Now, do you have a favorite trait personally within the collection?
Well, I initially liked the magical mushroom hat a lot, because Albert did it amazingly. Like it was exactly how I imagined it. But when we were finalizing the renders, I thought that the magical mushroom had a very difficult time fitting in with the other traits. So I wouldn't say that's my favorite trait. I would say I think the colors of the sweaters are amazing, and I really like the simplicity design of the crowns, because that was very difficult initially when we created the crown trait. That was one of the first base traits we created, yeah, 6 months ago ish. It had a very metallic feeling, so when we redid it now and added more of a plastic feeling, I think the crystals on the crown and the crown itself looks simple, but it looks aesthetically pleasing and perfect in line with how we want to Nyolings to look. So I think that's probably my favorite trait, the crown or the black crown.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I love the design of all the clothing that you have there. It's very clean, very precise looking as well. I remember when we were chatting in the VC prior to Mint, you were showing me some of the fire backgrounds. Personally, that's by far one of my favorite traits, and that's when I scooped off the floor early on before the initial pump. I was really excited to get one because I bought a couple right after Mint,
Yeah,
and I was kind of just focusing on like low Mint numbers then, because they were unrevealed still. And I was just a little disappointed to see I didn't get any good backgrounds that I wanted. So I
right.
scooped one more and I got the fire background. I was really excited.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So all right, as we start winding down here, let me ask you a more broad question here. How do you see the NFT landscape shifting over the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, with the talks of creative, no, royalties being flexible, I think that we will see with the general adoption of the NFT scene, I think there will be a lot more established projects, not only setting out to raise funds and then drop the project like we've seen countless of times, but I think more serious projects and brands, real brands, will come in and start NFT projects to establish on the market, on the Web3 markets. So I think the biggest change will be that more bigger brands come in, and instead of it being you create an NFT project and then you create a brand, it will be you have a brand and then you create an NFT project. Potentially, we could also see a lot of launched NFT projects that might die down, be resurrected by companies that want to invest in Web3 and have something to say in the Web3 space. So I think there's some rumors going around store catchers. I think that's a case of a project slowing down and then potentially being acquired now. And I think that should be a path. So I think bigger brands will be more involved as the space develops. And I mean, bigger brands have bigger money, better everything. They're gonna be able to out competition anyone else pretty much.
Awesome. So yeah, I mean, Moxxy, it was absolutely great having you today. Are there any final thoughts, dates, or shills you want to share with everyone listening before we go?
Well, as you mentioned, there was the Nyolings Adventure. It's coming within a few days, and I think it looks pretty awesome. So we're excited to share that. But other than that, I don't. We want to stick by our under promise and over deliver. So I can't really promise too much here.
I love it. I love the strategy. All right, man. It was absolutely great having you. Thank you again for taking the time with us today. And that's all we have for you.
Thank you so much, man.